Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to My Hero Academia, Chapter 338 review. This chapter is titled, The Story of How We All Became Heroes, Part 1. Now, if you remember last time, we found out who the UA trader was, and that was Aoyama, and we found it out with the slight help of Hagakure and Deku just doing his thing and quickly apprehending him using his insane quirk of all for one, or one for all. And this chapter starts off where the last one did, with Detective Tsukiyuchi saying, "Not so fast, Midoriya. Sansa, go ahead and gag young Aoyama." Tsukiyuchi then says, and there will be no hand-holding. He's in police custody. Regardless of any extenuating circumstances, the fact remains that he conspired to fall for one. Furthermore, though it may seem that he's safe and in the clear, we can't be sure that he's not booby-trapped like Nagant. Until Central Hospital can run a full analysis, it's been wise to let the boy speak another word. And we see that Aoyama now has a gag over his mouth, looks metal, and he's still bound more. And Deku starts to tear up and cry as Tsukiyuchi says more words. He said, "Mrs. and Mr. Aoyama, why don't you inform All for One about the raid in Kamino?" And they say, "We never had a way to reach out to him. We only had communication when he came to us." And Tsukiyuchi then says, "Probably so that you couldn't be tracked down in case you were caught." As Deku says, "Detective Tsukiyuchi, we can't find All for One. That's the current situation, right?" As Kaminari looks and says, "Oh!" And he thinks back when he said, "They still get to make an opening move. That's why our side is calling up every able body we got in sheer numbers gives a fighting chance." And he goes, "If nothing else, maybe we can steer the way the villains join this fight." As everybody sort of looks to Kaminari and goes, as like, "Oh, sure." And Yaoyorozu says, "Looking at it from another angle, as of now, there's only one person who could possibly deceive All for One." As Aoyama thinks, since he's gagged and all of that, Why would they turn to me when I am a despicable villain? And President Mike says, "Hold up. Slow your roll, kiddos. Jump into gun much? A crime's a crime. I hate to say it, but you bunch are the biggest victims here. Can you really trust this guy now?" And Ida says, "That is on the past." As President Mike sort of just looks over longingly, and we see bunch of shots of different kids in the class, while Ida says, "The responsibility also lies with us for being unable to perceive what lay in his heart, which is precisely why, when we witness our classmate weeping in despair, are urged to reach out to him as friends, to allow him to take our hand, because that is the only way we can again want to make him our equal, our peer." Bakugan says, "The crap I went through because of him, 5 blasts of my howitzer should make us even." As Sarah's like, "A little extreme, don't you think?" And Kirishima goes, "Aoyama, you thought you were helpless against All for One, yeah? That's why you obeyed. Things have changed. You tried to get your folks put into this bad deal, didn't you? When we went to grab Midoriya off the streets, did a single one of them give us crap for being quirkless at one point? Did we hold it against the dude for not keeping that a secret, for holding back these tears? Aoyama, we can still stand strong together." And I don't think most of this chapter will be done a lot better in the anime, just from how all the chapters roll and all of the words like, "We can still stand strong together." It's very weird and choppy to say. That's just how chapter is. But then we see Aoyama, and we cut over to Tsukiyuchi now, saying, "Sorry to break up the excitement, but in terms of the Aoyama family cooperating with our search, they've already told us that All for One won't believe any lies. I understand how you all feel. Let's keep a cool head about this." And then we see President Mike is holding up like an iPad or some device like that, and we see somebody, mainly Eraserhead, say, "Midoriya, did you have a concrete plan in mind?" And Deku's like, "Not really." And Eraserhead's like, Sheesh, I didn't think so. Detective Tsukiyuchi. I didn't see through the ruse either, so I'm responsible too. And that said, I feel the same way the kids do. Aoyama, I still have no intention of expelling you. And I guess we didn't hear, and Izawa says, as Class A's homeroom teacher, I have an idea. Detective, cover the Aoyama family ears for a minute. As we see all of the kids, we see Kaminari, Kirishima, Ojiro, Deku, Froppy, Koda, and we then cut to Principal Nezu, All Might, Tsukiyuchi, Present Mike, Ectoplasm, the Aoyama family, and Aoyama himself. And we then see somebody saying, we'll need to inspect each and every location. And Nezu said it certainly seems feasible. Tsukiyuchi says it may be worth a try. Sansa, I'd like to continue this back at HQ. As they start to walk off, I guess. This chapter is very choppy. It seems like this will be much better in a different format. I know I keep saying this, but this isn't the best chapter to end off the year of My Hero Academia on. It is very choppy and everything like that. And, so yeah. And they say, the rest of you keep this all at the strictest of constants. Got it? As they start to walk away from the Aoyama family, and Deku yells at Aoyama as he looks back for a split second, but doesn't do anything else. And then we cut to the 1A dorms where everybody's moving around, and Bakugo looks like he's taking out the trash. And Kirishima says, we better prepare. And Ida's like, I must do something about my costume. And Deku says, same here. And the invisible girl goes, it'll work. Yeah, this'll bring him down. As we cut to a, not full page spread, but just a single page. That's like half of it. That's pretty much all of the characters sort of just looking menacingly like, yeah. As we see Bakugo, Uraraka, Mina, Ashido, Ojiro, Tokoyami, Jiro, Shoji, Sato, Ida, Yaoyorozu, Seru, Mineta, Kaminari, Froppy, Koda, Kirishima, and Todoroki just looking all menacingly. It's pretty funny, and I just have to point out that on this page there are 17 characters, and the Invisible Girl is not one of them, and Deku is not one of them, and of course Aoyama is not one of them. But did you really forget about the Invisible Girl again, even though she just spoke, but like did not put her in the panel? I don't know. But then we cut to Deku looking all serious, and we see the development studio, and he thinks, to prepare for the upcoming battle, I leave nothing to chance. I need to repair some key equipment. As we see Deku's going to open up doors to the lab as an explosion happens. He looks at Ida and flies back as he is like deja vu. And we see somebody we haven't seen in a while. We see Hatsume go, oof, that hurt. Hey there, it's been forever, Midoriya. As it ends off the same exact way that chapter 100 did of the series. That is collected in volume 12. I know that because for some reason I do. But we see this and Hatsume is like, oh hey, with her boobs all up in Deku's face, pretty much smothering him, and Ida giving a classic look of, oh god, why? But yeah, and that's the end of the chapter. Now, this chapter I have very mixed thoughts on. I feel like the title of the chapter, the story of how we all became heroes, part 1, is very leading to, will there be multiple parts of this? Is next chapter going to be, alright, we got the upgrades and now we become heroes? And it's a very interesting thing. I don't really know what to say about it. And the act of Aoyama obviously going to be used to deceive One for All in a way that makes him come into battle differently and all of that. And Eraserhead saying of Aoyama, I'm not looking to expel you. And then just the very choppiness of the, oh, we know the plan now. You don't. Alright, it'll be worth a try. Take him into custody and all of that. It's very interesting. And then the whole panel of everybody going, yeah. It's just, along with the ending of the chapter. In my opinion, the ending of the chapter is the best part because it leads to something that has already happened once before, and it gives a comedic tone to this chapter, which has been horribly depressing and sad as this little arc as it's been. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. If you got any thoughts on it, put it where thoughts are found. So thank you for watching this, everybody, and Glowplasma231 out.